Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and this is my review for Freezing Vibrations Episode 7. Um, I really don't feel like talking about this episode for very long, so I'm going to try and make this quick. Um, Satella ends up saving Kazuya from Holly. She blocks Excalibur with her own Volt weapon, and at this point, they actually go back in time to when Holly was actually thinking about Lewis. In the manga, this happened before this scene, but for some reason in the anime, they enjoy doing things out of place and going back and actually having to go back to where the things actually happened. Um, this stuff, most of this stuff was in the manga, but it didn't happen in this way. If you watched my review last week for the last episode, then you know I told you exactly what happened. Holly, there's this scene where Lewis rapes Holly. They didn't actually show it here, but they showed like the beginning of it, and they changed it up so that Lewis ended up raping Holly because she was trying to seduce him, when in reality he raped her because she called him and Satella disgusting, and the relationship they have disgusting, which is completely different than what they did here in the anime. But at this point, when I started this episode, I was expecting to be disappointed. Um, at this point, we go back to the fight between Holly and Satella. They're fighting. Holly's really fast. She can use double excel with no interval in between. Satella's barely able to keep up with her, but then she's able to switch between double and triple excel, so she's able to just beat up Satella pretty much, just slash her all over. There are moments where Satella starts to be able to catch up, but at the end she still gets beaten. She ends up getting back up though, and there's a bunch of talking and stuff, and we get a reminder about the actual arc, the one that's really supposed to be going on right now, the E-Pandora arc. They're talking about all this stuff and thinking about just the arc. They're thinking about the arc in general. Um, Stella, she ends up growing out her wings and fighting Holly again. Lewis does the Orion bar set and activates freezing, but Kazuya neutralizes it, which I'm glad they actually remembered the fact that you aren't supposed to be able to use freezing without having done the baptism and doing the Orion bar set. And Lewis actually pointed out, like, hey, how could you use freezing without doing the Orion bar set? So I'm glad they remembered that Kazuya is actually special. Um, you guys should find out why he's special later, not in this season, but then if they do a third season, which they probably won't, because this one probably won't sell well because they ruined it. Well, then again, it has boobs, so Japan will probably buy it up. But no offense to Japan, but that's just how things go. That's just how things are sometimes that she sells. Um, but she grows out her wings and she's fighting after Kazuya neutralizes the freezing. Satellaman just to cut Holly on the shoulder, and apparently that cut on the shoulder is enough to beat her. I don't really get it, but okay. Apparently that's a loss. And then Lewis, he kind of goes insane, thinking of that, there's no way he could possibly lose. And he turns good. He turns good. He walks over to the cliff, he jumps. Oh, he doesn't jump off, but he falls off, trying to commit suicide. Then Holly goes after him and saves him. There's this. Oh yeah, they wake up and they're both fine. And Lewis legitimately turns good this time. Um, there's this filler with Rana calling them because they needed an excuse to go back to Alaska where they were supposed to be the entire time. Um, there's this filler with Satella's parents. They leave on the private jet. Satella and Kazuya do, and then we see Scarlett O'Hara at the end talking about how the next Nova Clash is going to happen soon. And there are a bunch of these people in test tubes. I don't know if they're like, I don't even know. Um, Maybe they're like Maria, that like original Pandora or whatever. Maybe they're like artificial creations. Maybe they're Nova who've been captured. Who knows? Who knows? That's pretty much it for the episode. Um, this was a really annoying episode. Really annoying. It was boring too. I just didn't care about anything that was going on. The fight wasn't good. They moved things around. To be honest, I didn't even bother checking to see if any of the stuff in here was filler. I know the stuff with Rana is filler because it had to be, but stuff with their parents, I'm just assuming that's filler. I don't really care enough to check because this episode isn't worth this episode. It's not worth it, to be honest. So I'll just give this episode a 5 out of 10. I'll be nice. Um, usually I would go back to check to see what was filler, what was added in, what was changed, but right now it's just I'm just done. I'm done. I'm done with this stupid arc that was actually good, but they made it bad by shortening it tremendously and then adding it into the middle of another arc and then adding a bunch of filler and changing everything about the arc that was good. I'm just done. I just want to go back to the E-Pandora project. I want to go back to Amelia and Chiffon and Rana. I just want to go back. Char, Roxanne. I just want to go back. But that's it for this review of Freezing. It gets a 5 out of 10. It was not a good episode. It really wasn't. But that's it for now. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.